Louise Bourgeois, the artist who turned childhood wounds into masterpieces. When we speak about the influence of the human mind on art, few artists embody that connection as completely as Louise Bourgeois. She was not only one of the most important sculptors of the 20th century, but also an artist who devoted her entire life to exploring the memories, fears, love, and wounds of her childhood. She believed that art was a way of healing the pain that had never been forgotten. Childhood among ancient tapestries. Louise Bourgeois was born on December 25, 1911, in Paris, France. Her family owned a workshop that specialized in restoring antique tapestries and historic textiles. These centuries-old fabrics were repaired with extraordinary care. From an early age, she spent countless hours surrounded by threads, fabrics, needles, and intricate patterns. She later said many times that she learned her first lessons in art not at school, but in her family's restoration workshop. Her childhood coincided with the years of the First World War. Her father left to serve at the front, while her mother, despite her fragile health, took responsibility for both the family and the business. Bourgeois would later describe her mother as a symbol of endurance, care, and quiet strength, a wound that never healed. But the most significant event of her childhood was neither the war nor hardship. It was a crisis unfolding inside her own home. Her father, a dominant and authoritative man, brought the family's English tutor into their household. The woman lived with the family for years and carried on a romantic relationship with Bourgeois' father. The affair lasted for nearly 10 years. Louise's mother knew about the betrayal, yet she remained silent. For a sensitive and observant young girl, that silence was even more painful than the betrayal itself. Every day, she witnessed trust being broken, the quiet collapse of her family, and her mother's inability to confront the situation. That experience would later become the deepest source of inspiration for her art. Bourgeois later wrote, "My childhood has never lost its magic, it has never lost its mystery, and it has never lost its drama. Everything I have done during the last 50 years, all my subjects have found their inspiration in my childhood." As a young woman, she first studied mathematics, a discipline that, in her own words, gave her a sense of order and stability. However, after her mother's death in 1932, the course of her life changed. She abandoned mathematics and decided to devote herself entirely to art. She studied painting, drawing, and sculpture in several academies and studios in Paris, where she met many of the leading artists of her time. During these years, her artistic vision shifted from representing the external world to exploring the inner world of the human mind. In 1938, she married the American art historian Robert Goldwater and moved to New York, the city that remained her home for the rest of her life. At first, she focused mainly on painting and printmaking. Gradually, during the 1940s, she turned to sculpture. Her early works consisted of tall, abstract wooden forms that reflected loneliness, displacement, and human relationships. Art as a form of therapy. For Bourgeois, art was never a way to escape the past. It was a way to confront it. She transformed memories, fear, jealousy, love, anger, betrayal, and anxiety into sculptures made of bronze, steel, fabric, latex, stone, and wood. Her works often portray the human body as fragmented, transformed, or wounded, drawing viewers directly into the world of the unconscious mind. Beginning in the 1990s, Bourgeois created her famous series, known as the Cells. These works are enclosed, cage-like spaces filled with personal objects, old clothing, mirrors, beds, doors, and human figures. Each cell is like a memory from which there is no escape, a space suspended somewhere between dreams, nightmares, and memory itself. Her most famous works are undoubtedly her monumental spider sculptures, the largest of which is titled Maman. For most people, a spider represents fear. For Bourgeois, it meant exactly the opposite. She said, "The spider is my mother." To her, her mother was like a spider, patient, hardworking, protective, and a skilled weaver. She believed her mother held the family together just as a spider patiently weaves its web. For that reason, these monumental spiders are not symbols of terror, but loving monuments dedicated to her mother. Success that came late. Although Bourgeois had been creating art for decades, international recognition came relatively late in her career. Beginning in the 1980s, major museums around the world exhibited her work, and a new generation of artists came to regard her as one of the most influential figures in contemporary art. In 1982, the Museum of Modern Art in New York presented the first major retrospective ever devoted to a female artist, an exhibition that firmly established her place in the history of art. The final years, Bourgeois continued working every day until the very end of her life. She believed that an artist never stops discovering themselves. She died in New York on May 31st, 2010, at the age of 98. Today, her works continue to be exhibited in the world's greatest museums. Legacy. Louise Bourgeois proved that art does not always have to be beautiful, peaceful, or comforting. Sometimes, art is a wound that speaks through images. She transformed childhood memories, betrayal, love, fear, loneliness, and hope into works that continue to resonate with millions of people around the world. Perhaps the best summary of her life is the sentence she wrote many years ago: "Everything I have created comes from my childhood." For Bourgeois, the past never truly ended. Instead, it became the raw material for creating some of the deepest and most influential works in the history of modern art. If you want to listen to real stories, and if you want to learn about the path to success of artists, subscribe and recommend this channel to your friends.